Okay.
And we'll start out with the Neil with the Planning Commission report, please.
Are we supposed to have a roll call?
Oh, I keep on.
Got to do roll call vote.
Thank you. Well, I saw y'all, so I know you're here, but let's start. Okay. I'll start with myself, Dick Huber. Go ahead, Neil.
Neil DeVries, Milford.
And
Linda
I'm-
Kavanaugh, Milford.
Ed Klink, Milford.
Janetti, Milford.
Keith Charesco, Milford.
Dale Wilsey, Milford.
Linda, I think I talked over you.
Linda Kavanaugh, Milford.
Thank you. Okay, now Neil, we'll go with the Planning Commission liaison report, please.
Last meeting was April 29th. We had two major items on the agenda. First was the Kensington Ridge PUD. That's located on the southwest corner of Milford Road and Maple Road. It's roughly 335 acres. It has a mixed zoning to it, R1R, M3 extractive, and R2 multiple family residential. We went through it. It started out being 892 units in this development. It's now down to 830 units, primarily with lesser density on the north side of the property, which is currently zoned R1R. So towards Maple Road, it's comparable to 1 acre plus lots, but it's the housing is the only thing that's owned by the residents, and the property is owned by the development. So we went through it, and for the most part, three major items. First was the density, which we talked about. They got down to 830 units. Second was water. They have a tentative agreement with South Line to provide water. That still has to go to our board and to South Line's board to work out that intergovernmental agreement. And third is the traffic. We've gone through numerous traffic studies on this, and for the most part, it's optimistically, it'll be slightly more dense in terms of traffic, but it's still a big issue. So we went through all that, and for the most part, we approved the concept plan with some issues to be resolved, and then that'll go into the board. Following that would be if it's approved, a site plan review would then come as the next step. Second, we looked at Powell
Neil?
Engineering.
Neil,
I'm
can I
sorry?
interrupt you, please? On the Kensington Ridge, 830 units. So is that apartments?
No, it's mixed. It's going to be single family homes, townhouses, and some apartments. But primarily on the north half of the property, it will be all a Del Webb retirement facility with a clubhouse and individual homes.
Okay, thank you.
Second, we looked at Powell Engineering located on King Ranch Drive, and thereafter a request to get a use determination for outside storage of dump trucks and equipment that they have. And so we're looking at that. There was, in terms of how the ordinance is written, you may or may not need a building on the site. And that's one of the things that we decided to to postpone until we get more of a legal determination from our attorney. And that was primarily it.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Neil.
You're welcome.
Dale? Township liaison report, please.
Yeah, the synopsis for our township board meeting in your packets. Leave it to its writing unless there's anybody has any particular questions.
I just have a question on the adoption of the drive-through facilities. Can you talk to that at all, please?
Well, we just updated the ordinance to allow drive-through facilities in a B2 district, so that would affect Holden's. They would like to put in a drive-through window for the store, so they would be permitted under the adoption of the changing the language in the ordinance to approve that.
So will the language read, does Holden's, if the language, with the language is approved, do they need to petition for approval or can they just do it?
It's already been approved to the township board, Richard.
Okay,
So the language is being changed and they would have to go through the building department for a building permit.
okay.
It's a special use, Dick.
Oh, okay.
So they have to apply to the planning commission, public hearing, all that good stuff.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you.
In
All
C,
right.
in C1, C2, it's permitted, but it's still a site plan. You have to apply for site plan to have one.
Okay.
Excuse me.
All right, with that, we will go to new business, V20-007. Ben and Hetty Felton. What do we have here?
Yeah, good evening. Ben Felton is here.
Hi, Ben.
How are you
Ben,
all?
would you in summary fashion, please, in about a minute or so, just tell us what your thoughts are in requesting this variance and why it's needed?
Yeah, certainly. So I received a variance from you all back in September for an accessory building at my address, 3467 West Buno Road. Since then, I've been working with my builder to get plans finalized. I didn't get final prints until about January, and since then, I've just been in turmoil with all of the lumber price changes, trying to get him locked down on a solid bid price. So what my request is for you all is just an extension for me to file for a permit. I do intend to build the building, take advantage of the variance. However, just the timeline has just crept up on me, and trying to get that done by June 10th is just going to be pretty problematic for me.
Okay, thank you. Did I hear something in the background? No, okay. I will do a call to the public on this request for an extension. Is there anybody in the audience, general public, wishing to comment on this requested variance extension?
There's no one from the public currently with us, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Then with that, I will open the meeting up to board questionings, Ben. So go ahead, board.
The construction market entirely this last year has been, as Mr. Felton said, in turmoil. I work in construction and it's not been easy. Workers, lumber prices, even trying to get plans drawn up are like pulling teeth. We already approved it. We've been out there, we've seen it, what the property is and the improvements he's going to make. And I'll take this opportunity while I'm speaking to make a motion to approve a 1-year extension for V 20007.
I'll second.
Okay. I'm going to interject with some discussion just for a second. Ben, you're asking for an extension through November 1st. And as Dale said, and I think between COVID and lumber prices have just gone off the roof. Are you confident that, well, maybe confident isn't the right term. You do think that by November 1st, you will be engaged with the construction?
You know, that is my intent, but as you all have referenced, I don't think any of us could have foreseen what's happened in the last 12 months. So if you're willing to grant the 1 year, I'll take that. But my intent is to actually try to have it completed by this fall.
Okay, very
That
good.
was the reasoning for my 1 year is that it's an easy number to remember. And I want to give Mr. Felton and anybody else a chance to be able to do the job and do it right.
Yep, I agree with you, Dale. Okay, so I know we had a motion and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought it was seconded. So with that, let's have a roll call vote for approving a 1 year extension for this, for Ben on his construction. We'll start with,
Hey, Dick,
yeah,
your extension from tonight or your extension from when he was approved?
I was doing a year extension from tonight, Tim.
Okay,
what, yeah, and that should give him well in the next year, and I think that's fair. So Neil,
I approve.
okay. Dale,
Yes,
Ed,
Yes,
who did it's Linda? Linda,
You're muted, Linda.
you're muted, Linda.
Yeah, approve, sorry.
okay. Patty,
Approve.
okay, and myself, yes. So I think I got everybody on
And I
that.
vote yes as well.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, Keith said yes as well. I knew I forgot somebody. Okay, I'm sorry. So, okay, the extension is approved for 1 year from tonight, from today.
Good luck,
Thank
Mr.
you all.
Felton. I think you're
Good
gonna
luck,
need
Ben.
everything that's
Good
going
luck.
on out there.
I
Yes,
will just
thank you
say,
all.
I was looking when I was down in Tennessee, just came back yesterday. And there was a friend of my son's who was building the house. He bought the lot and he got the price from the builder. And the price, this is over 2 years now, just for the wood has gone up over $100,000. It's just astronomical.
Ooh.
Okay, with that, we will go to,
Thank you all.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
thank you, Ben.
Good luck, Ben.
Yeah, bye-bye.
We'll go to V21003, Rocky and Michelle Williams. Who do we have here?
Good afternoon. My name is Rocky Williams.
Hi, Rocky.
Hello.
Rocky, in a synopsis form, can you please give us the details as to why you're requesting this variance?
Yes, sir. So we're looking to add a detached garage at the front part of our property. Based on the current location of our home being on a pretty steep hill, and then we have a septic field in the back portion of our yard, makes it very difficult to access some additional storage, as well as we have some recreational vehicles, boats, stuff like that, that we like to store and kind of clean up from that standpoint. That based on the hill, we can't get the boat up the hill to say per se get it in our regular 2-car garage.
Okay. We'll do a call to the public. Is there anybody from the public wishing to comment on this request for variance?
There's currently no one in the public joining us, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll open it up to board member questioning.
I know when I went out there and looked at it, and it's always a challenge to get up your driveways. I see everybody on Old Plank Road parking at the bottom during the winter months because they can't make it up. And looking at your property, where you have proposed is probably the most level spot on your entire lot. If you get up over the hill, and if you didn't have a septic, yeah, you could build it in the back, but you most certainly would have to find some way to slow yourself down going down the hill. That's all I gotta say. I mean, it's a very challenging site, and I think you've done your homework on where placement should be. Less intrusive, behind the trees. You can't see it until you drive up your driveway.
What is the height of the structure?
We're gonna keep it just basically single story, so it'll be, you know, it'll have just a normal size garage.
So it's more like a garage and not a pole barn.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. We'll also make sure that it matches the color of the housing exteriorly, so it looks very similar.
So Rocky, as a part of your request for variance, you're saying that you will remove the what I guess what you call the block building?
No, that's a different one.
Yeah, this is,
That's 04, Rich.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, it's FBI buildings.
That's right.
Yeah, currently no building structure to remove.
Yeah, so you've got, how many acres are you on?
We're a little over, we have, I think, right at almost 2 acres. We're like 1.3 and a quarter, somewhere in there.
And you're going to, this will be a new structure in addition to the 2 you have.
The
No,
only
no.
structure I have is my
I keep
home.
on going
Definitely
back.
messed up.
That's right. I'm sorry. I knew that I was confused on this. Okay, I apologize for that. Okay. All right.
I think this was fairly straightforward, given the topography of the lot and the location of the septic field in the back. I think Rocky that has picked probably the best place to put his structure on his property. I can't see any reason why we couldn't go to finding of facts and vote on this.
Before we do that, I tend to agree with you, Neil, but before we do that, I had a quick question,
Okay,
Rocky, on the septic field in the back. I've got 2 different schemes here. One of them says the septic field is the entire backyard. The other one seems that's on Oakland County stationery seems to indicate it's part of it. I was just curious how big your septic field was in back.
So I don't have exact measurements, but I do know it was a good portion of the backyard. We had to have the septic field, maintenance and replaced as we moved into the property, and we lost a good part of the grass in the backyard for the septic field.
Hey, Ed, how long have you been in your home?
We've been here 4 years, upcoming in July 1st.
And do you know when your home was built?
1979.
Thank you. Ed? Yeah.
That Oakland County aerial shows his active field. That's the one with like the checks in it. And
Yeah.
then his reserve field is what's required to have. And that's that rectangle next to it. So that's if he has to replace it, it moves to the left.
Gotcha. Thank you,
So
Tim.
he can't encroach on that.
It basically
that
occupies
reserve
the
area.
behind the house area, doesn't it?
Got it. So really, if you wanted to stick to the letter of the ordinance, really the only option he would have would be to put tack a garage onto the existing structure, and I don't think that's workable, even without the topography, just given the setback of the yard, I mean, of where the home is, to the side yard. I don't think that's doable either. So I'm good.
Rocky, do you have association in your subdivision?
I do not.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So there's no complaints there.
No, ma'am.
I
just want-
do want to make note that I've seen 2 emails from people that live nearby that did not want to see this happen, that did not want to approve it. I saw one today and I saw one maybe yesterday. So that has to go on the record.
Why did they say?
I'd have to go open up my phone. I think one of them was they just did not want to see any structure in the front yard because that doesn't conform to the rest of the road. And then there was another one that was I don't think they gave a reason, actually. They just said they didn't want it.
Ed, now that you brought that up, we have to read both of those into the record. Name, address, and their
So
full
I
statement.
have a question about that. If they were sent to Ed personally and not.
No, they were not. They
township.
were sent to Nina and she fanned it out.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You know,
You may not have seen it. Hang on a minute.
yeah, Nina sent out the emails. I saw the 2 this morning. One was from the Ditmars and the other one was from Palanca Family Trust.
Did she send them to all of us? I was at work today and I didn't see them.
I think it may have been to just myself, Dick, and Keith.
Hmm.
Well,
I gotta turn my phone on to let you know. Give me a minute, please.
On that note, did everybody else receive the addresses that got notified? Because I don't have mine.
No, I
I
didn't
didn't
receive
get
it.
one either, Linda.
So does that create an issue, Tim?
No, she just neglected to put it in the packet.
It had to get out, Linda, because otherwise we
Well,
wouldn't
that's
have.
that's what I'm thinking, but I just wanted to bring it up that I didn't receive any.
Yeah. We'll make sure we get those in the packet again. Just an oversight this month.
Would make a motion based upon the finding of fact that we approve B 21003 for Rocky and Michelle Williams, and also make sure that the letters that were sent to 3 of the board members are included in the records.
Well, hang on for a minute, Dale, because I don't think we've done a finding of facts. It was just, we commenced with the finding of facts and then we
We kind of lost track there. I agree with Dick. I'll start. The topography of the lot is extremely steep from the road to the home. The grade change is a good 8-9 degrees, and it gets steeper as you get closer to the home. It would make taking a utility vehicle up that drive problematic, whether you want to back it in or whether you want to pull it in.
The septic field to the east of the house, the property behind the house, is sufficiently large to occupy virtually all of the space for the existing and the substitute or backup septic fields.
I had another question. Can I ask a question if we're doing the findings of fact?
Sure, go ahead.
Rocky, are the doors going to be facing the north instead of facing the street?
Doors will be facing south.
Yeah, facing south towards the driveway currently already existent.
We have
Oh,
received
right, okay.
We have received 2 letters of opposition, one from from the Ditmars located at 1541 Old Plank Road. And we also received a letter from the Palanca Family Trust at 1355 Old Plank Road requesting that the variance not be approved.
Did they provide any reason?
I think Ed commented correctly. There was on the Ditmars, they just said that they did not think it was consistent with the neighborhood to have an auxiliary building in the front yard, and the Palanca Family Trust just said that they were not in favor of it without, as I recall.
Duly noted.
My motion still stands on the floor.
I support. the
Second.
motion.
Okay, we have a motion with support to approve V 21003. We'll do a roll call vote, starting with you, Neil.
Approve.
Keith,
Approve.
Linda,
Approve.
Dale,
Yes,
Patty.
Approve.
Okay, who the hell did I leave out?
Approve.
Ed? Ed?
You're not being
Ed.
the only one getting picked on, Keith.
And myself approved. Okay, so it's approved, and good luck, Rocky.
Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
I know.
Okay, moving on. V 21004, Terry Phillips. Is Terry with us?
Gary is muted.
Mr. Phillips has a representative, Dick.
Okay. And would you please?
Michael Powell.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. Mike
Hi.
Powell from Powell Engineering.
Okay. I'm sorry, the first name is Michael, is it?
Michael Powell, correct.
Michael Powell, okay. Would you please, in summary fashion, explain the reason for the requested variance?
Yes, sir. Last year, and earlier this year, a new gravel road was extended to the rear of this overall property so that the owner could take advantage of the back portion of his property, much like all his neighbors have done north and south of this site. This was a long, very long and narrow site that the back portion was virtually impossible to utilize because there was no access to it. By putting that road back there, there are 2 existing structures. The crosshatch structure to the right or to the east along the rear property line of this parcel number 1 is a block storage building that is it has 2 strikes against it. Number 1, it's within 15 feet of the side yard, and that is in conflict of the township ordinance for a side yard setback for an accessory structure. And it is also within the front yard, the newly created front yard for the private road that goes to the back portion of this property. There's also another structure, an existing garage that is about a 20 by 20 existing structure that is in the front yard of the newly created private road, but it is in the rear yard, of course, to Duck Lake Road. We're appealing the garage in that it is virtually the only spot on the property where the garage can exist. And I'll get into that just a little bit. The owner would like very much to maintain that garage And then even be able to extend it a little bit more because it's not large enough now for the two vehicles that they drive. So it meets all side yard setbacks and it really meets all building setbacks. However, the garage itself, by definition, this is a corner lot. It is on the north side of the home and it's within the front yard of the newly created private drive that runs to the back. This is a very, very unique situation, board members, in that, first of all, I don't think anyone will argue that a garage is really a must here in Michigan. The two folks that live here are in their 60s and they have a physically challenged young child that or youngster that lives with them, actually an older adult, but lives with them. And they need a garage to be able to get in out of their cars in the inclement weather. And the hardship here is not only is this an existing garage, so they don't have to build a new one, but there is a Detroit Edison corridor that runs between the garage, then the rear yard of this house and the house itself that can't be built over or around. There's also a tie or a guy wire that ties the pole back to in front of where the existing garage is. Then around the house, there's a well to the east behind the house, and then a septic tank and an existing septic system to the north of the home. So the location of the power line, the septic field, and then the well virtually make it impossible to attach a garage to the house itself. So they have really only two options. One is to request the ZBA to allow for the garage to exist, or move it even more remotely to the house, back and across the hatched area to the east of the power lines. And there are very large mature trees there that would have to be taken down. And again, it even moves the garage further from the house than the existing garage is. One of the other unique things, board, that I wanted to point out, that this garage is located approximately 10 feet above the gravel drive that runs to the east. And there is a 4-foot berm that lies between the garage and the road as well. So the garage, the existing garage, can't even be seen from a neighbor, and it can't even be seen from the private road. So if you drove back there, and I'm sure most of you have, and stood there, you can't even see that garage. So the owner is asking for the permission to be able to leave the existing garage in place. They would like to remove the shed, the block building on the east side, to minimize the nonconformity of the structures being requested. And then also, as a benefit to the community, they would like to remove the drive off of Duck Lake Road and remove people slowing down on Duck Lake Road there to turn into their drive. And they will then connect their private drive into the new gravel drive instead of coming off of Duck Lake Road. So they're looking to better the situation in that they will remove a block building. They'll remove the drive off of Duck Lake Road and maintain all the vegetation and the existing terrain as it currently is. I can certainly answer any questions, and the owner may be online as well if you have any questions of him or her, but I can answer any questions as well.
All right, well, thank you. We'll stop you here and we'll do a call to the public. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to comment on this requested variance?
We currently have no members of the public with us, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll open it up to board member questions.
I have a question, Mr. Powell. The new gravel road, is it owned by this couple?
It is, it's actually going to be owned by all the property owners that the drive. There are 3 lots behind this existing house. The existing house doesn't need that road, but certainly the owner is willing to take a new drive off of it. bottom line is it's going to be owned and maintained by all the owners that use it to the east of here.
So that would include the petitioner then, since he wants to rearrange access to his property and take it off of Duck Lake and onto this private road.
That is absolutely correct. He would be responsible for at least 1/4 of all the maintenance fees and the operation of the roadway.
Okay.
And you'd have a private road agreement for that?
That is correct, and a maintenance agreement as well.
Mhm.
That road done? Is it done now?
It is completed, and so it hasn't been put into service yet because we have not received the Sidwell numbers for the 3 lots to the rear.
Good. When I drove on it, it seemed like really soft. I was afraid I was going to get like stuck on it.
It has been compacted, but not having traffic on it, the frost has loosened it up a little bit, so it will have to be recompacted.
What's the plan for the block building you're going to take off? What are you going to put on that property? Is it going to be resodded or is there another plan?
That's a great question. I was told that it's going to be resodded and incorporated into their yard.
Okay.
How big is the acreage on the lot that we're talking about?
Yes, it's 1.5 acres net. It's 2 acres gross. So when you remove the Duck Lake Road and the private road from it, it's 1.5 acres. Otherwise, it's a little over 2 acres gross.
And for the record, part of the variance request is that they will remove the block building if the variance is granted. And the request is specifically to enlarge the other auxiliary structure as a larger garage. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
I might have missed this and I apologize, Mr. Powell. This was originally a 10-acre lot?
This
Yeah.
was an original 10-acre lot. That is correct, sir. And the back 3/4 of it could not be used or accessed.
And it was owned by the petitioner until recently, and we now have new ownership of that?
I believe that they still own those 3 parcels behind them, so I do not believe that they have sold any of the parcels yet, sir.
They can't sell them until they get Sidwell numbers for them anyways.
Right.
Mr. Powell, you had to send us to the land division for the splits, is that correct?
We have, yes, we have tentative approval from the township for all the splits. We're just waiting for your decision regarding the ability to keep the garage.
Chairman, I called for the finding of facts.
Are there any other questions from the board members?
Hey, buddy.
I'll take the lack of absence of comment being a no. I do have one more question. Just again, for clarification, the fact that the petitioner wants to remove access to his property from Duck Lake and rearrange it off of this private road, that has nothing to do with the variance request. Is that correct?
I believe, quite frankly, and I apologize that I have not asked him personally. He wants to make sure that the township knows that he has the best interest of the township at heart, and he wants this decision to be a win-win. So we offered that and would like that included in the ZBA motion if approved.
Well,
I don't think we have the authority on the moving of the entrance. I think they have to go through the road commission and change of address at that point, wouldn't they?
yes.
They would. Yeah, that would be a
correct.
voluntary, yeah, it would be a voluntary decision by the owner. Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
So the reason I raised the point, again, for clarification purposes, is that I want to make sure the record reflects that the proposed changes in access via driveway to his house is not appropriately part of this discussion.
And I understand that. I'm on the ZBA in White Lake Township, and when we see something that the owner has offered, we typically will roll that into our decision as part of the decision to better the community. So that's why it was offered.
Okay, well, again, for the record, and Mr. Welty was correct, it is up to the Oakland Road Commission to make that decision. So what I hear as a part of this discussion is a request for a variance to extend the larger of the two buildings, and as a quid pro quo, if you will, the existing block structure will be removed.
That would be appropriate, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, and does the board have any questions on what was just discussed before we go into a finding of facts?
No, but we should mention the fact that putting that road in there makes this a corner lot.
That'd be under finding of facts that you can bring that up.
Okay.
Okay, with that, then we will proceed with the finding of facts.
Go ahead, Linda.
The addition of a new gravel road to the north side of the house makes the lot a corner lot, and the garage, in effect, is in front of the house, or to the side of it, in front of the house.
That the topography of the property with the Detroit Edison lines running through it, the well and the septic field make directly behind the house impractical and almost impossible, I guess, without moving power lines to be built in that area.
The applicant has
The only
offered
other
to,
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Neil.
I'm sorry,
No,
the
no, no.
applicant has offered to tear down and an existing third structure, a block structure, and reside that to lawn.
You mean second structure?
Well, there's three. There's a house, the garage,
Okay,
and that structure.
okay,
Second
stand
auxiliary
corrected.
structure.
right.
The only available option to conform within the code would be to move or to build a new garage in an area that is densely wooded and is a considerable distance away from the home relative to the present garage.
Okay, anybody else?
There weren't any comments from neighbors on this one. Were there, did any emails come out about this one that I didn't receive?
There were none.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, I'll not make sure. I will ask that everybody get these emails, not just Dick, Keith, and I. It's not fair to you guys, in my opinion.
How far out do these letters go? Because I don't live too far from it and I never got a letter.
1,000 feet.
Okay. That'd be why.
Yeah, you're further than 1,000, Patty.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Based on the findings of fact, I would move that we approve V 21-014.
004, correct?
I'll second.
I'm sorry, you're right. I got my wrong glasses on. It's 004.
Nice.
I will support.
Okay,
Okay, we have a motion with support to approve V 21004. We'll start with Neil,
Approve.
Linda,
Approve.
Keith,
Approve.
Ed,
Approve.
Dale,
Approve.
Patty,
approve.
myself is yes. With that, requested variance is approved.
Thank you, board, very, very much. You've made the owners extremely happy. Good
Okay.
night.
Thank you. Thank you,
Nice
Michael.
work.
Good luck.
Okay, with that, the next item is reviewing the minutes of April 14th, 2021.
Yes.
I have comments on page 1.
Please proceed.
Under the Planning Commission Liaison Report, which is mine. The last sentence says the crossings of Milford and would now read a proposed concept plan, which was approved with several amendments and will now proceed to the Township Board for review and determination. Next sentence. Should the board approve, the next step would be a site plan development and review by the Planning Commission. You got that, Pam? If not, you just send me a note.
I got it.
Okay.
Any other comments in the minute?
I'm sorry I missed it. I forgot, to be honest.
I would make a motion to approve the minutes of April 14th as corrected.
I will support.
All right, we have a motion seconded to approve minutes of April 14th, 2021. Linda,
Approve.
Keith,
Approve.
Ed,
Approve.
Dale,
Yes.
Neil,
Approve.
Patty,
Approve.
myself approved. Okay,
Can't really approve, can I?
with that, we will do a call to the general public. Is there anybody wishing to make comments to the board?
Not currently, sir.
Okay, thank you. Board member remarks, any comments? With no
Enjoy
comments,
the evening.
I suggest we adjourn.
I so move.
A second.
Okay, thank you all for your participation. Appreciate it.